Hey Josh, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I got you. You got me?
Yep, I got you. Let's start with questions, and Dante will have our first question.
Hey Josh, good to see you. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, Dante?
Good. Do you feel like this team and your number one ranked defense have gotten enough respect and recognition for what you all have done so far this season?
I mean, at the end of the day, we're playing for each other, and all that outside stuff doesn't really matter. We know the type of team we are. We know who the type of guys we have in our locker room, and again, I wouldn't trade our guys for anybody. So, I respect our team, and I appreciate everybody on our team. We're a team that works really hard in practice, and we've been playing really good football as of late, and now we got a good opportunity to go out there on Sunday, play against a really good Chiefs team that have been really the top dog in the AFC for the last few years, and we're looking forward to an opportunity.
Thank you for your time.
Dr. Josh, Mookie Harkins, Waffle Sports 1080. How you doing today, man?
Good, Mook. Good to see you.
Once again, you performed surgery with a chainsaw, throwing for more touchdowns than incompletions. Now, how much do you think about what you said on draft day to prepare your mindset for games like this?
Again, I think whenever a quarterback's drafted in the first round, they expect you to get to a position like this and to play in big games like this. So, we've had a couple opportunities the last couple of years, and it's no different this year. We've given ourselves a chance to accomplish what we want to accomplish. Now it's up to us to go out there and execute and try to go put our best foot forward on Sunday against a really good team. And we know that, they know that it's going to be a dogfight, as playoff games always are. So again, we're excited for an opportunity to go out there and play another game. Not many people are playing football this late, and we know that. So we're not taking this opportunity lightly.
Now, Josh, you have adjusted, you have persevered. How does this team overcome Sunday and put the Chiefs to bed at Arrowhead?
Again, it's easier said than done. I'll tell you that. It's a team that they don't lose many games in the playoffs, especially at home. And they're playing some really good football right now. Again, I think everybody in the world knows who the Chiefs are, and they're hard to beat, especially at home. So we got to go put our best foot forward and try to execute a game plan.
Hey, man, have a great week of practice and good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh, Adam Benini, just to kind of follow up on that. Looking at them, they're a different team than the one you took on back in week 5. They've evolved a lot, actually, on both sides of the ball. Defensively, very much included in that. What do you see from them as you begin to study them that's maybe different about them on that side?
They're throwing so many looks at the opposing quarterbacks right now, bringing pressures from every side imaginable. They got guys that are playing really well. Obviously, 95 moved back inside, and when he wants to go, he can go against anybody, and he's one of the better players in the league. And then obviously outside, they got a couple guys that can go get after the quarterback. Some smart, savvy guys in the secondary that are playing really good football together right now. So we got to be on top of our game, communication wise, obviously with the crowd noise, and we got to make some plays come Sunday night.
And just to follow up on that, I think back to talking to you before and after your first playoff game in Houston, and then I think to what you and the rest of the offense were able to accomplish on Saturday night, and I see the progress and the evolution there. I guess, how much does experience teach you and help you in situations like this, because you're familiar with the spotlight now, and maybe how are you a different quarterback now than you were then?
I think it's just repetitions of in-game reps and, being in the playoffs the last few years, taking the experience and the knowledge that we've gained, understanding that every drive that you have in the playoffs is very crucial to the game. Being smart with the football, not pressing. And again, playing away games, it's not easy to do, especially come playoff time. And on top of that, in a place like Arrowhead, where those fans are super loud and they make it really hard for the opposing team. So again, this week in practice, we got to be locked in with communication, snap cadence, and then obviously executing our game plan, which we got to go try to do Sunday night.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh, John Worrell, AP.
Good to see you, Warren.
Your experiences with Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer when you got here, and maybe the impressions that you got of their leadership ability, even though they're on the other side of the ball. When you go back to 2018, and what do you make of their presence when you got here and what it is now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's changed at all, to be honest. Their juice, their energy, it's unmatched. Their positivity, I think, is really something that sets them apart. So I've never once heard them complain my 4 years here about anything. No pointing fingers, especially, early on in my career, the offense, we weren't the offense that we are now. And again, our defense was playing really good football, as they always have. And there was no, you guys need to do this or you guys need to be better. It was, we need to be better. And they've constantly gotten better each and every year, but the way that they can communicate and move in tandem out there on defense, it's pretty fun to watch. And obviously you see the athletes start rolling in for them. In my opinion, they should have been rolling in a lot sooner in the last couple of years, because they've been playing at the top of their game for a while now.
When, I'm not sure if you guys watched the tape, but when you see Micah Hyde make that interception, I mean, what do you make of that play?
I mean, I know it was early on in the game, and it's hard to say this about a play, but it was a game-altering play that early in the game, giving us an opportunity to go out there and get the ball back, especially the way their offense was driving that first drive. And for him to make that play, one, was spectacular. The over the shoulder, basically eyes closed. Like, I don't know how he made it, but he did, and that's what he's been doing all year. And again, we're going to need those two, including everybody going forward, if we want to accomplish what we want to accomplish.
Thanks, Josh.
Hey, Josh, Matt Bobay, how you doing today?
Good to see you, Matt.
Hey, thanks. So question for you. It's not to the level that, you guys have seen the Patriots, but how do you pick and choose between all of these matchups with the Chiefs these last couple of years? Like, what worked, what didn't work? How do you, I guess, differentiate, like, knowing what they were able to stop, but also knowing what you guys did to have success? How do you kind of balance that out?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it just came down to making some plays in that last game and being smart with the football, understanding what they were trying to do us defensively. And again, they're playing at a different level, in my opinion, than when we played them the first time. And we know that. I think everybody else knows that they've come on really strong at the end of the season. They're one of the top groups in the league right now. But again, the way they can mix up pressures and force turnovers is really making them go right now. And again, it's on the quarterback to make the right decisions and not to put the ball in harm's way and not give their offense an opportunity for a short field.
I know you guys have so many things that you need to focus on this week, but can you at all look back at how last season ended as added motivation, or is that a different chapter that you're not thinking about right now?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, we don't want to have that feeling that we had there last year. And we know our season ended there last year, and now we have to do everything in our power to put our foot forward and make sure that it doesn't end there this year. And that's our main goal, is to go out there and win one game as it is theirs. But again, it's two really good football teams going at it. And, I'm sure they're excited for the opportunity as we are. Not many teams are playing this late in the season. So to be playing meaningful games like this in January, it's all you can ask for.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate the time.
Yep.
Josh, I know you worked on your deep ball, especially at the beginning of quarantine with Jordan, but what specifically this year has allowed you to take another step forward in that department?
I think just understanding some of the concepts that we're running. And obviously, you got to have somebody to go out there and catch the ball. And we got some really good guys on the outside making some plays for us downfield. We've had some unbelievable catches this year because our guys are just, again, they do the right things. They practice hard. They communicate well with each other. They do the right things in the running game and as far as blocking people. And typically when you're doing things the right way, you're going to have some success when you're called upon. So we just got some guys that have been getting open and making some great catches. And again, we're going to, whether we get some opportunities this game or not, I'm hoping we do. And we got to convert on those opportunities.
The numbers say that when you're on the run, you throw it deeper than any quarterback in the league. Is that something that is intentional, or is that something that maybe is just a byproduct of what's happening?
I mean, I think it's more of a byproduct of, escaping and and allowing our receivers just to kind of make some ad-lib plays down the field where, as corners and DBs, you maybe not expect to cover a guy for that long. So breaking contain and getting outside of the pocket, I think it makes it easier for receivers to kind of look back and see open space and run to it, and just giving them an opportunity to make a catch.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh. I was curious, a lot of focus is obviously on you and Patrick because of the position you play, and it becomes sort of like a rivalry type thing between the two of you. When you hear something like that, people consider this potential matchup years down the road and that sort of thing, what crosses your mind? Because obviously you're playing the Chiefs defense, but it becomes like a you versus Mahomes thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the nature of the business. We know in this league, the quarterbacks, they get a lot of the praise and they get a lot of the hate and the downfall and all that stuff too. And I think it just kind of comes with this position that we play. But, to think about people saying that, it's obviously pretty cool to be in that conversation with a player who's won MVP and won a Super Bowl already. And, he's done all the major things that you want to accomplish in your career. And obviously he wants more too. So, it's cool. And, because I know the type of guy Pat is, we've talked to each other a few times, and he's an awesome dude. And I know he's got his foundation set up that helps a lot of people. And that's something I really admire about him as well, that he's a real good person off the field as well.
When you're playing a team this much, especially in a short period of time, do you view it as a sort of rivalry thing? Like, is that how you view it? Or is it kind of just like seeing a team, especially because it's in such big games? Like, how does that word make any sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know if rivalry is the right word, but they are the mecca of what the AFC of the AFC, and that's the team that everybody wants to aspire to be in 3 AFC championships in a row and be in two Super Bowls in a row. So that's the type of level that we want to be, and in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And they've really been, one of the, if not the best team in the last 4 years. And again, we've got a good opportunity here, and we're excited for it. And as I sure they are as well.
Thanks, Josh.
Hey, Josh Reed here. Hope you're having a good day.
Same to you.
Thank you. You guys have played 7 games against teams that made the postseason this year. You have 18 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. Pretty good ratio. What is it about those kind of marquee matchups when you know that you're going to go against the best that really kind of gets you going?
I mean, I just think throughout the week of practice, maybe there's a little bit more urgency, game planning wise, understand what's going in, taking out stuff we don't like, and just being sure that, what we're calling is something I'm comfortable with. But at the end of the day, though, it's all about execution. It takes 10 other guys on the field to do it. And I don't know if it's any different for any other games or anything like that, but just trying to execute at the highest level possible, be the best quarterback, be the best teammate that I can be for this team.
How much do you enjoy getting in that arena, though, against the best of the best?
No, it's as a competitor, it's everything you'd want. Like I said earlier, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. So, we're excited for an opportunity to go there, and we know it's going to be loud, and it's going to be a 4-quarter game, and we got to be ready for it.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate your time, man.
Thank you.
That's all we have time for today. Thanks, Josh.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, Jordan, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I hear you.
All right, awesome. We'll get started with questions, and John will have our first question.
Hey Jordan, how you doing, man?
What's up, John? How are you?
Good. How how last season ended in Kansas City been at the forefront of and driving force of maybe your guys' season and to this point?
Yeah, I think a lot of guys had that loss in their mind all off season. Really kind of fired them up throughout the off season, and kind of kept that energy going into the season. Obviously, remembering what happened last off season, nobody wants to go home yet. Great opportunity against that same opponent. I'm ready to play, got to execute at a high level. But yeah, that loss has definitely stuck with a lot of us over the off season. Coming into this season and even up to now.
And you mentioned a week ago you had a feeling you'd see the Patriots again after the day after Christmas. Did you have the same feeling after you guys beat the Chiefs earlier in the year?
Yeah, I did. I had a feeling, if we wanted to get to the Super Bowl, we were gonna have to beat them. And here we are, some X amount of weeks later, in that position for a great opportunity to go play our best football.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks, John. Good to see you.
Hey, Jordan, Mike Catalana. I heard some clips of you, about the way Josh played against the Patriots. And it's almost like you can become a little bit of a fan. He's your own teammate. You've watched a lot of tape of Mahomes over, 4 times now playing him. Are there moments you sort of feel that way when you're watching just the things he can do, and then you got to get yourself focused on tape? Or is your mind just different when you're watching tape of a guy as opposed to the moment seeing it like what we saw from Allen on Saturday night?
I think I understand your question. When you look at quarterbacks like Josh and like Mahomes, really really tough style quarterbacks to defend. Guys that can throw the ball all over the field, guys who got great command in their offense, guys who can run the football as well. It's a tough task, and Pat is obviously up there with some of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he does a lot of really good things well, and it's a really good offense. You got really good players around him, so when you're watching tape, obviously I don't want to say I compare or anything like that, but you definitely have an idea how good Pat is. When he's on the move, especially finding receivers across the field. So we're gonna have to execute at a high level, like I said earlier to John, play our best football and play at a high level.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey Jordan, good to see you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. With how this team has played through the regular season and last week included, do you feel like this number one defense still hasn't gotten the respect that other number one units have gotten in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the off season we can worry about that. It's we got a job to do this week. Whether we're the number one defense or the number 32 defense, we got an opportunity this week, obviously, to go out there and be able to play our best football. So really, all the number one, number whatever in the regular season, that really doesn't matter. It's a whole new season now. You know what I mean? So we got to come ready to play and we got to execute at a high level.
Thank you.
Hey, Jordan, Sean Worrell. I kind of apologize for because I heard your answer here, so I'm not trying to step on your answer, but a lack of respect has been something that has really motivated you and Mike, especially since you got here, and the lack of respect you guys have gotten. But when you make the All-Pro team and Micah gets a second All-Pro team nomination, and Micah makes that highlight reel interception that draws a lot of attention to you guys, is maybe are you guys getting maybe finally the respect you deserve?
I think we both like to have that underdog mentality, no matter what's said outside of this building. You know what I mean? I think both of us has gotten to the position that we've gotten to in our careers because we've always had that mentality. Whether people thought we couldn't do this, couldn't do that. I think regardless of the All-Pro honors, whatever, there's to him and I, there's still some people out there that don't believe in us. You know what I mean? And that's just that's just how we think. That's just how we're wired. And we're always going to carry that underdog mentality with us. And I think that's why, that's part of the reason why, we've become, who we've become.
How many times did Micah, sorry, maybe you can get a dig at Micah here. How many times did Micah look back at his interception on tape this past week?
Knowing Micah, probably only once. Just knowing Micah, probably only once. If that was me, I'd have probably watched it all damn night. But nah, I don't know. It was a hell of a freaking play. I think it caught me on the mic up talking. I went up to him afterwards. I was like, dude, like, you're absolutely disgusting for that play right there. Like, it was just a crazy play, and I was able to be on the field actually and see it firsthand. So it's an awesome play.
Do you think he'd get there? Did you think he'd get there? He closed that?
I mean, to be honest, on the field, I thought it was a touchdown. I saw him run the double move. I was running with a shallow going across, and I turned. I saw the ball in the air, and I mean, I saw Micah tracking it down. I couldn't believe he got there. Just unbelievable play.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah.
Hey, Jordan, it's Kim Jones. Hope you're well.
I'm doing well, Kim. How are you?
Good. I don't know, many questions I've asked you, and I still remember talking to you at your locker, which were good days for us as communicators.
Right.
I don't know that I've ever asked you about Josh, and I just wonder, as one of the original guys there under Sean McDermott, you and Micah, of course, in that group together, what have you made of watching Josh all of these years, from a young guy who, like all young guys, had a lot to learn, obviously, till what he's doing now?
Yeah, just his confidence, confidence in himself, confidence in his teammates. And I mean, the guys around him have confidence in him. He's such a great leader for our team, and he's such a great guy too. He's a great teammate. Just always want to be around him, always cracking jokes. But I would just say the biggest thing I've seen is just his confidence, his command of the offense. And he's got really good playmakers around him. He's able to distribute the ball. I think last week we saw every receiver had a catch. And I think I said on the mic up last week, we're lucky to have him on our team, because I wouldn't want to play him if I was on another team. But he's like I said, great teammate, great guy, and his confidence is just through the roof.
And if I could just sneak in a second, how much combined do you and Micah take responsibility, maybe especially with Tre'Davious not available, to kind of not only lead but play at a very, very high level for this team?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, he sent me a text last night. Let me read it. It's awesome. I mean, this is just the relationship we have. He said, hey, we got to go crazy, best in the world. He said that at 10:17 last night. And, we just continue to just pump each other up, man. And we take a lot of responsibility, especially since Tre'Davious left, on making sure that, in the back end, that we're all communicating and we're executing at a high level. We're always getting the guys together, watching the extra tape. So, yeah, I do believe, and it's not a bad thing. We love that responsibility. We love that, I guess you call it that pressure, that responsibility. But, yeah, with Tre'Davious down, and a lot of guys have stepped into bigger roles too. Levi Wallace, Dane Jackson, those guys have stepped into huge roles for us as Trey's gone down. So it's a combined effort. It's not just Mike and I. It's a combined effort of our back seven, just continuing to work, watching tape all the time together.
Jordan, you're always terrific in this forum. I just want you to know I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it.
Hey, Jordan, Josh Reed here. How you doing?
What's up, Josh? How are you?
Good. Hey, kind of going off of a little bit with what Kim was asking you there. Josh, this year, you guys have played against, you guys have played 7 games against playoff teams. He's got 18 touchdown passes and 2 picks in those games. What do you see in him that makes him so good when all the chips are kind of in the middle?
He just doesn't blink, he just doesn't blink. I mean, he can go out there and I should say he go out there and throw a pick. I mean, he doesn't blink. He'll go out there the next drive and still be slinging it. He's a guy, like I said earlier, just with all the confidence in the world. And that's what you need at that position too, especially at this level. So just a guy who doesn't blink in any situation of the game. And as a teammate, as a guy who's on the other side of the ball, that's just what that's what you want to see on the quarterback. So, like I said earlier, it's awesome to have him on our team because playing against him be a whole different story.
Now, I went back and rewatched the last time you guys played Kansas City and looked down through some notes. Taron Johnson had a huge game against Tyreek Hill. Mm-hmm. When you guys look back at that first game, what do you kind of see in that and kind of what he was able to do when he was in the slot?
Yeah, I mean, Taron does a great job for us every week. His job isn't easy to be able to go in the slot and guard some of the quickest guys on the team. So he's been a dog for us since he's came here. Just a guy who comes to work every day and does his job. But, I thought the first game, we played well, obviously well enough to win. We definitely left some out there and some stuff that we can for sure learn from going into this game. It's going to be a different game, but we have our key components of, how we feel we're going to win the game. And so we got to go out there, like I said earlier, and go out there and execute at a high level in order for us to have a chance to win.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Jordan. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Josh.
Hey, Jordan. Good to see you, man. When you played Kansas City early in the season, they were in the midst of kind of a slower start, I guess. People were writing them off. They've obviously put together that win streak, and their offense is playing just about as good as anybody in the league right now. Is there anything you see differently that they're doing now offensively that maybe they weren't doing in early in the season?
Yeah, I think they're a little bit more patient with their offense. I think early on in the season, for whatever reason, maybe some of the checkdowns they weren't hitting early on. But now they're able to, Pat, it seems like he's being a little bit more patient with the ball in his hands. He's not forcing huge throws down the field if it's not there. He's checking it down. So they've always had great players. Obviously always had a great quarterback and guys like Travis and Tyreek and you can go down the list of guys that they have. So like I said earlier, we're gonna have to execute at a high level. They're playing good ball. We're playing good ball. So like I said, we're gonna have to execute at a high level to play to get a win on Sunday.
Right, days going together. Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
Hey, Devin, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, awesome. We'll get started with questions, and Dante will have our first question.
Hey, Devin, good to see you.
What up, bro?
You had 6 rushes against the Chiefs in Week 5. With how you've been playing of late, how excited are you for the increased workload this time around?
I'm just excited. Period. Get to play these guys again in the playoffs. Get a chance to go out there, and make some things happen. So I'm just excited all the way around, bro.
And compared to what you saw from their defense in Week 5, are there any differences from the way that they're playing from what you've seen on film?
Yeah, man, they're playing with a lot more energy. The pressure that they send, man, they're making a lot of guys uncomfortable. So we know we're gonna have our hands full for sure.
Thanks for your time. Good luck this week.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Devin, how much did how the AFC Championship game went and how the season ended a year ago, how much of that did you carry over into your off season and maybe as a driving force into this season?
Yeah, I mean, things like that you don't forget. How we lost and when we lost. So of course we still got that bad taste in our mouth. But coming up this week, we get a chance, to redeem ourselves and get that bad taste out of our mouth. And things like that, it's gonna always motivate you. I don't care what you say, it's always gonna motivate you. So man, we ready to go. We're looking forward to Sunday.
And you've now seen them, this will be the 4th time in 2 seasons. How do you know how to take, or how do you know what to take from the previous matchups and while also being aware of the adjustments that could be made in this one?
Yeah, feel like got a lot of a great leadership, I should say, like a lot of older guys. And then how the coaches are, preparing us. Like you say, take this from we learned this went bad, in this year before, in this game before. All right, now this time, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we have to do if we want to get a win. And it's not easy, but things worth happening is never easy. So that's the best way I can break it down for you.
Appreciate it, Devin. Thank you.
Hey, Devin, it's Kim Jones from NFL Network.
How you doing, Kim?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well.
If this is a bad question, it won't be the first one I've asked in my career, I promise. But when I watch you over this past month or so, whether I'm in person or watching on TV, of course, you look faster to me. Is there anything to that? I don't think it's my eyes deceiving me, Devin. I feel like there's a burst there in this past month or so, and that has led to your great production over that time as well.
Yeah, I mean, part of it was coming from training in the off season, and then just carrying that over. We got a great team here as far as our weight room staff and our trainers and everything to have us ready to go and keeping us strong throughout the season. So all that ties in and all that plays into how I'm playing now.
But a lot of guys wear down during a season. Like, how did you either avoid that or find like another level?
Yeah, just the weight room.
Okay.
Is one way. Stand in the training room, just even if there's nothing wrong with you, you're still taking care of your body. Okay. And then the way we practice, the way Coach McDermott take care of us, all of it goes hand in hand.
I got you. Like a walkthrough might help once in a while.
Definitely.
I got you. Thank you, Devin, very much.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Hey, Devin, it's Mike Catalana. Every time we've asked somebody, whether it's Sean McDermott, Brian Daboll, one of the players, what's different about Devin Singletary? What's changed? They almost all just say nothing. You've been the same, whether you were having success or not. How difficult was that maybe earlier in the year when it wasn't going the way you wanted to maintain being the same guy that your teammates see now?
Yeah, man, I wouldn't say it's difficult at all. Like I said before, man, things that's worth having in life is not gonna be easy. And in this game, there's gonna be a lot of ups and downs. So you can't get too high, you can't get too low. Somewhere in the middle, reality falls. So that attitude right there helps me a lot. Just keeping my head down, just working. That's what it's all about, man. So that's the best way I can break it down for you.
Right. Well, while you're maintaining that, was there a moment where you got yourself a little down? Maybe you needed to be picked up at all. Maybe you reached out to somebody or with your teammates, during a year, even though you maintained sort of a balance, but it gets tough in a long season.
Yeah, man. Like I say, you can't get too down on yourself or too high, because then that's when the problems come in. Then that's when I'm no longer being myself, So, nah, I mean, just stand even kill. That's the best way to be. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Devin, it's Mark Gahn from the Buffalo News. Thanks for joining us here. So this is a question about Josh. I just want to ask you about his demeanor, his calmness under pressure. You might have seen, like, on the touchdown pass to Dawson Knox, he held the ball for like 9.5 seconds on that play. How would you describe him in the huddle last Saturday night under pressure, his demeanor, his ability to handle pressure?
And to me, to everyone around here, is no surprise. Josh, that's our general. I say it time and time again, that's our general. He approaches everything that way. He approaches day in and day out that way. And man, he's just a dog. He's fearless. He doesn't fear anything. And that's a guy that has a lot of confidence, always has a lot of confidence, and still building more confidence. And when he step out there, man, just know he's not blinking at all. He's not blinking, no matter the situation. He's always in kill mode. That's the best way to put it.
Okay. And then just to follow that up, the kind of like the sort of the joy he brings, like, you win the coin toss or something, and he's like jumping back to the sideline. What do you think about his ability to seems like he keeps it fun. He may manage to exude fun even under pressure. Yeah,
I mean, that's just Josh. That's Josh for you. He's the ultimate competitor, like you say. Like he doesn't even want to lose the coin toss. And then 2, man, like we're living a kid's dream right now. Even though at times it might be pressure or whatever it may be. Sometimes you got to sit back and just realize like we're living a dream and just enjoy it and cherish all the moments. And I think that's what Josh shows day in and day out as well.
That's all we have time for today. Thanks, Devin. Hey, Steph, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, sweet. We'll get started with questions. Please raise your hand if you have a question. Start with John.
There we go. Hey, Steph, how are you doing, man?
How you doing?
Good. I know you've been asked, and we've asked you in the past about the picture and watching the celebration. I think you said, like back in camp, it was kind of a juggling act for you of using it as motivation, but wanting to move on. Now that you're heading back there, though, do any of those emotions come back and boil up over?
No, I mean, I feel like I carried it over to the season. And throughout this season, we've had our ebbs and flows as far as like the roller coaster. We've had our share of bad with our good. I feel like this team was built off a lot of character. Throughout this season, we had a lot of triumphs, a lot of close calls, falling short a couple of times, and it built a lot of it. So that's more driven me up to this point rather than the photograph. Just going back to that place, I would say, we played them earlier in the year. I would have had that feeling earlier in the year more than anything. But being in the position that we are in now, we're grateful for the opportunity, to be in the show, to be in the playoffs. And where we are, we work to get here. So we're just trying to execute, go in with the right mindset and, make our plays. Everybody needs to do their job. So that's all.
And I asked Jordan Poyer this. He said a week ago that even after beating New England a day after Christmas, he kind of felt like you guys were going to see them again. And he says he has the same feeling with the Chiefs. Did you kind of have a feeling even after that win earlier this season that, all right, we're going to get them again?
Yeah, everybody knew that. The Chiefs are a hell of a team. They got all the talent in the world. They've been playing at a high level. They've been to the Super Bowl twice. They got a hell of a quarterback, hell of a receivers, good defense. They're a good team. Something that we look forward to as far as like the challenge and putting ourselves in a position to have success. So, you can't really say nothing other than they've been doing all the right things. So, yeah.
Thanks, Steph.
What's up, Steph? We just had Devin on with us, and he called Josh Allen the general of this team. I know you've had a lot of great things to say about Josh, but what is it that makes you guys want to run through a brick wall for him?
As of late, you've really seen Josh turn into the quarterback that we've seen all along, as far as like him leading us, him being that driving force. And it's special when it's coming from your quarterback position. It's not coming from your coach. It's not coming from anybody else. It's coming from the quarterback. And for us, like having a quarterback like Josh, you're fortunate, you're blessed. Because things aren't like that everywhere else. And, that's why I always say, like, I'm thankful to have a guy like that, not only as a quarterback, but as a friend, because, when things get tough, it's easy to have his back. It's easy to want to run through a wall for him because, he'll do the same for you.
And then just with his personality, I mean, you could have different quarterbacks and not feel the same way just about how you guys feel about Josh Allen. So what is it about him off the field that you guys vibe with, that you guys agree with, that you guys are able to come together on, day after day?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I give it a lot of credit to the staff as far as like picking the right guy. They picked a lot of the right guys for this, as far as like building this team and the camaraderie of this team. And, we meshed really well. We all kind of got a similar story of, kind of being a little bit accounted out and kind of coming through the back door, having some success, but always on that steady increase or that grind of trying to get better. And I feel like that's what makes us the kind of team that we are, because nobody is around here getting fat and satisfied. Everybody's like this. Oh, on to the next. Let's just keep going.
Thanks, Steph.
Hey, Steph, it's Mike Catalana. Not specific to the picture, but that picture represents a season ending in a playoff game. And you've also had maybe the most dramatic, one of the most dramatic wins ever for a playoff game. That feeling of taking the field when it's win or go home, we talk about it all the time. Does it feel different for that reason when you take the field in a playoff game with everything at stake, where what happens decides whether you go on or your season's over?
I say 100%. I've had a taste of, I guess, both coffees, the good one and the bad one. So I'm fortunate enough to be on the other end. I haven't been able to be in that big show yet. So it's something that I'm always striving for. But as far as like being in the playoffs, knowing that you either win or go home, it's always heightened emotions. I feel like it's a little bit more increased focus and increased effort. Fighting for extra yardage in the regular season is different than fighting for extra yardage in the playoff. I feel like you giving it everything you got, and the man across from you is doing the same, just because you're going home if you don't win, and you don't want to be the reason that you go home. So as far as like that being a motivating and a driving force, I think that's enough for any player to know that, all right, if you don't win, you're going home.
Great, thank you.
What's up, Steph? You guys had 7 offensive possessions, 7 touchdowns. You played about as perfect an offensive game as you could play. And, I look, whenever I see a game like that where your offense is going good, I look at, your numbers, and usually the targets are huge, but it was only 4. Do you feel like, I want to use the video game analogy, that like everybody in this offense, their overall is so high that it doesn't matter where you go in this offense because so many guys can contribute?
I was trying to, I remember earlier in the season when we was asked about the guys that we have and the depth that we have. And I was trying to explain to everybody, like, we got a lot of guys that can ball. We got a lot of guys that can make plays. We got a lot of guys that can do some special things. And to kind of see it turn the corner towards the end of the season, earlier in the season, they were calling us all type of names and X, Y, Z when we were trying to figure it out. But, throughout that process, we didn't lose no faith. We kept grinding. And to kind of see it turn the corner towards the end of the season, because he had a couple games that he had, everybody's eating, everybody's having success. I was just trying to always keep it in the forefront of, you got to play team ball. We've been playing some great team ball, like guys contributing at a high level. Everybody contributing, everybody doing their job. So having that many weapons and having depth kind of turns the corner for us. It's going to be games where I have whatever targets, and it's going to be games I have 4 targets. But then all in all, when you're trying to win, if you're really looking at the grand scheme of things, balance is going to get you wins. Team football is going to get you wins. Running the ball is going to get you wins. Motor is having a hell of a back end of the season, and Josh is balling now. He's running all over the place. So I wasn't lying when I said we had weapons. I'm just glad that I don't look crazy now, and y'all kind of see it for yourself.
You mentioned Motor. I want to ask you about him specifically. We just talked to him. You talked a little bit about Tyler Bass, I think a couple weeks ago, about the swagger. What kind of swagger does Devin have? Because he's so quiet, but it seems like he plays with it.
I feel like he's one of those head down work kind of guys. Like, he's not going to say too much, but he's going to show you. He's going to show you with his effort. He's going to show you with his play. As of late, you've seen it. We've been the Motor can make guys miss, can run guys over, and it's a lot of deception because he's small. But I think he's low key like really, really, really good running back. He just, with those opportunities given, he's shown it. As of lately. So it's just we were a high tempo passing offense. I'm saying he had to get a little piece of the pie in, but I'm just happy that his slice of the pie is really getting to show how good he is now.
Thanks, man.
Hey, Steph, I wanted to follow up on John's question about how you and Jordan both had a bit of a feeling that you would face Kansas City again. Was that more just like logically, this is a good team, it's likely we'll see them in the playoffs, or was it more of a feeling like based off last year, it feels like you'll face them again?
It's a little bit of both. Just geared off of early in the season, they had some missing pieces. They weren't all the way clicking on offense as well, or whatever was going on. But you knew they were going to turn the corner eventually. They've been a good team. They're a good team, and things are going to turn the corner as far as like them making adjustments or doing whatever you got to do to win as an offense. So in the back of your mind, you know that that's a good team, and good teams always got to play the good team.
Makes sense. And then this is a little random since you guys aren't the same side of the ball, but I just know you're so close to so many people on this team. So I'm wondering, how have you seen Greg Rousseau he had such a big game against them week 5. What have you seen him do to build on that during the season?
He's a young player, so I kind of stay on him a little bit sometimes. I'm not too much on that side of the ball, but I make sure I show him some love before the game, and I tell him that he better get his hands on somebody, or I'm gonna get my hands on him. So it's a steady grind. I remember being a young player, and I remember how long the season was. So as far as like him staying focused and him staying grounded this whole time, you know what I'm saying, staying healthy, you know, it's a whole process. So I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him up to this point. But I feel like he got a lot of ball left in him. I think he got some more juice in those legs. He's gonna make some more plays for us. So I'm saluting him to stay on the grind and, you know, just staying at it.
Awesome. Thanks.
That finesse, Mookie Hawkins, Ruffle 1080 was good.
Nice seeing you. What's up, big guy?
Good, man. How important is it to keep Kansas City off balance with balance aggressively?
They give you a mixture of looks. They blitz. They gotta, you know, they've been doing it for a couple of years now as far as like and having success. So for us, you got to be able to, you know, not only spread the ball around, but make your plays when they come to you. You know what I'm saying? We kind of talk about everybody doing that 1-11, and that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? When you're giving your opportunity, just make your plays. And you kind of saw that last week. Trying to just have that carry over to this week. You know what I'm saying, whether it's a million plays or whether it's 3, just make them. And you know what I'm saying, make sure you're doing everything in the best interest of the team.
No doubt, no doubt. And, you know, other than you finessing cornerbacks and safeties, and, you know, how do you plan to be more of an impact without catching the ball?
Whether I'm throwing a couple blocks or, you know, keeping my quarterback in the right mind frame, playing smart, reminding my O-line going in the huddle, like play hard, play smart, look where we at. We got points. You know what I'm saying, don't get us out of field goal range. Don't, you know what I'm saying? It's just friendly reminders. I try not to pry or poke at guys, more so positive energy and positive reinforcements, and a friendly reminder, just be like this. Hey, we good. Let's just stay good. Let's play hard and let's play smart.
Absolutely, guy. Safe travels and good luck Sunday.
Appreciate that.
Oh, we have. Thanks, Steph.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
Tracy Wolfson. Get in for